Oldie but a goodie today. This is my lobster mushroom cakes. Revisiting this, there's already a video on my channel, but it's not one that I filmed, so this one is going to be much more instructional and also very, very short, just about 2 minutes. So lobster mushrooms, first thing to know is that they're so firm that you can grate them like a potato. And that was the inspiration for this recipe. I wanted to make something like a mushroom latke that was mostly mushroom. And I also wanted to, kind of help the lobster mushroom flavor because they're very mild. Once we grate all of the mushrooms, we're going to add some salt, and the genius here is that the salt is going to draw the moisture out. This is the same method I use for my Hericium crab cakes because mushrooms contain a lot of water, and if we want a crispy cake, we need to get that water out. So we're just going to squeeze as much water as we can out of the lobster mushrooms, and it just kind of condenses them down. You're going to be surprised how much water comes out of the mushrooms. Now, lobster mushrooms have a really mild flavor. And what we need to do here is, kind of the real genius is that we can now adjust the flavor of the lobster mushrooms and improve them with herbs, spices, and things like that. You can do all kinds of things. I add a little smoked paprika, chives. Typically I add green onion, but I didn't have some. I changed the recipe a little bit doing it this time where I add 1 whole egg instead of an egg and a yolk. We just add a little bit of extra flour that'll help it to bind so you don't have to sacrifice that extra eggs. I know that bugs some people. And like I said, you can do this all kinds of different ways. Then just patty the cakes up. If they don't want to patty, just add another, teaspoon of flour or something like that. And now we just fried the cakes up in a pan. This is something you can do over a campfire, and my original recipe is filmed over a campfire with my old videographer, Chris. And just like my green cakes in my first book, the browning that you do here is really important because it's going to help the cakes stay together. So the more crispy golden brown you can get them, the better the cakes are going to stay together. So take your time, go on like medium-high heat and get them nice and golden brown. There's nothing wrong with flipping them a couple times, pressing on them a little bit so they get a nice contact with the pan there. And then when they're nice and golden brown, my favorite thing to do is to serve these for breakfast. Some fried eggs, bacon. It's just great. And I think it's a great way to cook with lobster mushrooms, especially if you have friends or family that have found them mild tasting. The full recipe is on my website. Link at the top of the video description for that. Thanks for watching.